Morning. You look at yourself in the mirror, deep in the eyes, and shivers go down your spine. This is what we all know as fear of the unknown. We know what we see before ourselves, not what actually lies down deep in the chamber of our souls. It all begins in the early childhood, when the adults around us tell us that we have to cut all ties we have with the universe of dreams, goals, and aspirations, because dreaming is associated with the unknown, and the unknown is associated with failure, as most of us know. And it all turns us, as time goes by, into adults with a seemingly stable life. But deep down, we turn to strangers without any trace of the children we once were, eager to learn and to explore the unknown. We end up having a seemingly stable life with a 9-to-5 job, but deep down, we're unhappy. We're unhappy because we have no longer what made us once authentic. And now, I want to tell you of how important it is to immerse yourselves into the unknown, to lose yourselves in the dark in order to find the light at the end of your path. I want to share a story very deep to my heart. The story of how I fought to become who I am today, standing in front of you, as the sum of all the emotions, experiences, and feelings I've been through in this roller coaster we call life. And it all began in my early childhood. It all began even before I was born with a choice that didn't even belong to me. The choice of my parents to move and study in Romania and live there after they graduated. It was a very impactful choice of theirs, and I did not even have a say in it. But it impacted my life since day one. Slowly but surely, the years were passing, and I knew who I was seen as ever since kindergarten. A stranger, an immigrant. Someone without the rights to be equal, because the Romanian society back then stood by its own principles, that a citizenship would have made me indifferent or any less human. To this day, that remains something I will never set up with, and something I will never aspire to become. I'm proud to say that progress has been made in the meanwhile, and now we are not as shaped as society like we used to be back then, when our parents were pressured by the social standards to choose a career that was seen as stable, that would offer them a good paycheck at the end of the month. That was me at one point, to be fair. And at one point, I wanted to become a doctor. Not because I was very passionate about it, but because I knew that it could guarantee me what was considered stable. We'll get back to this later. In the meantime, I will tell you that the discrimination I have faced went on for years and years, and the only people by my side were my parents, without whom I wouldn't have been where I'm at right now. But I would say the most remarkable step in my self-growth journey was the summer of 2022. The summer where a distribution system had chosen my faith for me. I ended up in I considered back then, wrong high school. I ended up studying social sciences. I knew nothing about that career path, nor what could I end after I graduated high school. But I went with the flow, although I tried switching my high school numerous times, because that wasn't the picture I had framed myself in. And I had to face my fear. Slowly but surely, the first day came. It passed quite well. Then the second, the first week, the second week, and the months went by pretty fast. And without knowing it, I was becoming someone that at one point I didn't think I could be. Someone very strong. From that shy little girl, I was slowly turning into a fighter. A fighter that was inside me, but I never had the courage to aspire to be, because I couldn't be bothered to change the social perception people had of me. But then I tried involving myself in as many school and extra school projects that would focus on what I actually want to do and finding my path in life. And I would say in this journey, I wanted to have an impact on the world. I wanted to have an impact and make a change, because discrimination is not something that we should tolerate nowadays, not with the democracy we aspire to have and that we live in. So I decided to make a school project, being the vice president of the school activity committee, representing over the 800 voices in our high school. I decided to take my chance and make a project about inclusion, but not just different people and something that has already been explored, but a project with those who we consider different or less normal, although normality is something each of us define. People with special needs. Those children do not have the chance to even face the challenges we always complain about. And I made that happen. I made a gift exchange right around the last Christmas. And it was the most impactful experience, and not just for me, but for every kid who attended. I made the two so different yet so similar worlds interact. And that was the most transformative experience in my life. And not because I ended in the wrong high school I thought at the time. What I want to say is that at one point in time, we all knew who we were, but not what we could be. We have to immerse ourselves into the unknown in order to find the light and not fear it. Thank you. Yes?
Do you believe that had you ended up in a different high school, you'd be standing in a different place today?
Definitely. I think that nothing is randomly chosen for us. The destiny always has its invisible hand of fate, let's say. And yeah, I think nothing was randomly chosen in my path. And if I would have been in that high school, looking back, I would have probably not had as many possibilities as I had, because it is quite known as a good high school. And probably what I realize now later on is that I would have not had the time to actually focus on my passions, on what makes me who I am today standing in front of you. And I think it is very important to actually face the unknown. And that is what happened in my case. And definitely, if I would have been in that high school, realistically speaking, I would have not had the opportunity to meet our vice principal, the person who actually helped me coordinate this project. And I probably wouldn't have felt very self-fulfilled, because I would have not made that impact that I just told you about earlier. But thank you for your question. Yes?
May I ask, if you're not from Romania, where are you from?
I'm from Bulgaria.
Oh, I hope you're from there.
Thank you for your attention.